born on May 18, 1970 in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Elizabeth Tina Fey is an American actress, writer, comedian, and producer, best known for her TV work, including Saturday Night Live, 30 Rock, and The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She has also starred in several comedic films, including Mean Girls, Baby Mama, Date Night, Megamind, and Sisters. Collaborating frequently with her friend and fellow actor Amy Poehler, Tina is a renowned comedy writer, receiving several awards for writing, including the very prestigious Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, becoming the youngest person ever to win the award. But you already knew that. So, here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Tina Fey. Number 10. She did a book report on comedy when she was 11. Fey's parents noticed their daughter's interest in comedy at a very early age. She would watch classic TV comedies as a child, including The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Bob Newhart. They also snuck her into Young Frankenstein and would let her stay up late to watch The Honeymooners. So, when it came to picking a subject for her middle school book report, it's no surprise that she chose comedy. However, at the time, the only book she could get her hands on was Joe Franklin's Encyclopedia of Comedians. Number 9. She has a scar on her face from a childhood attack. Over the years, you may have noticed that Fey has a facial scar on the left side of her face. According to Fey, when she was 5 years old, she was in an alleyway of her hometown when a man wielding a knife walked down the alleyway, slashed her in the face, and disappeared. Number 8. She wrote satire for her high school newspaper. Fey attended Upper Darby High School, where she was an honors student who was also involved in choir, drama, and tennis. If that wasn't enough, she also co-edited her high school newspaper, The Acorn, in which she would also write a satirical column about policies and teachers under the name The Colonel. She also once got into trouble because she tried to make a pun out of the phrase, Annals of History. Gee, I wonder what the pun was. Number 7. Her first TV appearance was in a commercial. A lot of future stars got their start on commercials, and in 1995, Tina made her television debut in an ad for Mutual Savings Bank, in a floral vest and 90s bowl haircut. Fey paid homage to her beginnings on 30 Rock with Liz Lemon's commercial, 1-900 OK Face. Number 6. She became SNL's first female head writer. After learning improv at Chicago's Second City, Fey submitted samples of her writing talents to Lorne Michaels at SNL. He interviewed her and hired her within a week, and her first ever sketch was writing Chris Farley as a giant baby. In 1999, Fey became the show's first ever female head writer, debuting a few years later as co-anchor of Weekend Update with Jimmy Fallon on the 2000-2001 season, and won an Emmy for her writing on the show. Number 5. She is part of a classic pinball game. Between the bank commercial and SNL, Fey had an interesting credit to her name. A pinball game called Medieval Madness was created, and most of the Arthurian dialogue was written by Second City alums Scott Adsit and Kevin Dorff. They pulled in fellow Second City castmate Tina to voice an opera singer princess, Cockney-speaking princess, and a character with a southern drawl. Number 4. Her highest grossing film is animated. Fey currently has 39 acting credits to her name. Starring in both television and film, Fey has done mostly comedies, and has had a few hits under her belt, including Baby Mama, Muppets Most Wanted, and Mean Girls, which she wrote. But Fey's biggest success came in 2010 with the animated movie Megamind, where Fey played a Lois Lane type character named Roxanne Ritchie. The film co-starred Will Ferrell and Brad Pitt. Number 3. Oprah told her she's working too hard. For a while, Fey was incredibly busy, working on 30 Rock, writing films, writing her book, and frequent appearances on SNL as former Vice President nominee Sarah Palin. On one of these days, Oprah was guest starring on an episode of Fey's TV show, 30 Rock. Between takes, Fey would be watching clips of Sarah Palin because she was going to be on SNL that same night. Noticing this, Oprah simply leaned over to her and said, quote, "You may be overextending yourself." Number 2. Fey may have cost Palin the presidency. During her time on SNL, Fey had risen to stardom as a breakout star of the show. After she left, Fey gained even more popularity when she wrote and co-starred in Mean Girls. But Fey arguably became worldwide famous when she would cameo frequently on SNL as then vice presidential hopeful Sarah Palin. After Fey parodied Palin on her famous Katie Couric interview and continued to parody the politician throughout all of 2008, pop culture coined the phrase, quote, "the Fey effect," to describe the comedian's negative effect on Palin's campaign that very well may have cost her votes. If you were to ask Fey about it, I doubt she'd care much. Number 1. She set up a scholarship for veterans. Fey's father Donald was a Korean War vet and studied journalism at Temple. So, when he died in 2015, Fey and her brother set up a scholarship in his name that aids veterans that want to study journalism. Fey said of her father, quote, "He was really inspiring. A lot of kids grow up with dreams of doing those things, and their parents are fearful and want them to get a law degree and have things to fall back on. But he and our mom always encouraged us to pursue whatever truly interested us."